I know you fielded calls for stuff I've said before. At least I know Ayo has about artists. Have you ever had to deal with blowback for like early Charlemagne stuff, where they're like, "Yo," and I know before Real, you're obviously based in Jacksonville, but like I feel like you're kind of the face of like who the industry talks to when it comes to iHeart shit on the hip hop side. You are that literally. So was there ever any like?
Always. Especially at the very early, different iterations of Charlemagne.
Yeah.
I think early on he was raw,
raw,
and so I get those complaints. Obviously, back in the day before Charlemagne's Star, it was routine, man. Like NAACP would want me to come. I'm like, I'm not coming in for the meetings. Like, nah, man. Like if you took the show locally, I would always tell them, like, you took the show, you know what you got, like, you got to handle it. Like, I'm not flying across the country and meeting with the, United Negro College Fund, NAACP, every city because of
every city that was affiliated
with the show because they were hot, But yeah, I mean, there were complaints. I mean, it's part of the culture.
I'm just wondering if like you look at your phone and like it says Diddy's calling, right? And then Diddy's like, yo, Doc, what's this is fucking by the way, that's just the name.
I mean, it still happens to this day. Yeah. I mean, I think some people think that that's what we do. We set them up for the to get the clip on social media, which I don't think you guys intentionally do. I think it just happens sometimes. But yeah, I get them a lot.
Do you feel like, because I don't think artists, at least even 5-10 years back, appreciate the radio promo run like they used to. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of these younger guys didn't necessarily break on radio and or understand the importance of radio. Or do you notice that in terms of like certain artists maybe not wanting to do, come to the station or do a radio run or do like a promo show or shit like that?
Not a lot, but some.
Yeah.
Again, just not well educated. I think they've fallen into the fantasy of streaming, which, I don't necessarily buy it all, that it's legitimate. I think if you want to be a household name, though, you want to be on the radio.
Yeah.
That's.
I always tell everybody, I say, look, you have a career, you could be big, but if you want a #1 record, if you want to be a superstar,
got to be on the radio.
Radio, it has to be.
Especially markets like LA where people are always in the car.
Right.
Like, and people always talk about, radio's ability to survive, man. Like the best talent in the world is on the radio. Like, you could put on a playlist, but I'd rather hear you and James talk about something and then play my favorite record, or you and Big, or Breakfast Club, or we just have a lot of great talent in our stable, and I think they're going to take us into the next.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
In terms of like, obviously, radio as an industry is like shrinking in terms of like the amount of bodies that are around. Like even like on the record side, people are getting let go. It feels like more and more if you think of like the UK and they have BBC. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like eventually there'll be like I don't think there'll ever be like a BBC type situation in the US. I just think there's too many companies involved. Yeah. But do you feel like eventually there'll be something similar where it's like, this is the morning show for the US. This is you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like it's gonna get there or no?
I don't think so, because I think Big makes sense for LA.
Right.
I think
didn't make sense for New York. He was on Hot 97 for a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
I probably never told him this story, but I remember my boss calling me and saying, "Hey, should we do this?" And I had met Big, loved him, and I think growing up in New York City, I was like, "No, it's a different vibe."
100%. There's cities that are like that.
Yeah, like he's one of the funniest, most talented people I've ever met,
for sure.
And I mean that sincerely. But New York is just a different animal.
New Yorkers they want to hear New Yorkers on the radio. They want to know you're there. They want to know,
And you got to have a little, it could be a little nasty at times,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their expectation, and they deserve to get what it is that they want,